It is a new week that affords us another opportunity where Machita batol chaela ka diski ya mo Mzanzi. Risa ka dago states. Pro bona hore ditlapa tsa Africa di irahala. Tlapa tsa Africa re bolela ka Mamelodi Sundowns Jets.
Yeah.
Mampoza ke sure why no le happy le wena pelo ha bare you showed character.
Mara, now we're celebrating character. But the good thing about football, the way that it is, all the African teams that went over, one, they were not that known. Because you had analysts, you had people on podcasts saying, who's this, who's this.
So Sundowns Wanyadite from Lekoko.
Now, everybody knows Shushain and Piano. Everybody knows who Mamelodi Sundowns is. Everybody knows who Lucas Ribeiro is. And that's what you want. These tournaments give you an opportunity to display your... Gives you a table, chief. Buffet, let the people see what you are about.
Lufuno,
this Shushain and Piano.
He's talking about Lucas Ribeiro. And when you were underestimating Ligue Aruna as Khalenyana. The goal that he scored, isn't that copy and paste? Does that mean now Ligue Aruna is able to prepare these players for the big occasions?
It must be goal of the tournament.
Goal of the tournament, Harisho.
What's up, Pirates? Right, yeah, Pirates knows it's copy and paste, Cox. So Ribeiro is a player that he is, you know. He's got confidence.
He is him.
Is him.
You're a believer now.
No, I've always told you that, you know, don't buy a lot of these issuer players that are playing overseas. They are known. When they come here in this country, they cannot do well. Ribeiro is a typical example of that. And it's quite a good player. But overall, I think Sundowns team, in terms of attack, they gave Dortmund a lot of problems. You know, either they're attacking on the left or on the right. They created chances. And they just let themselves down not to win that game.
And I mean, Mampoza, prior to the match, when you listen to the press conference of coach, he was downplaying it a little bit to a point that a lot of us thought, no, this guy is going to play that whole haram thing where he's going to be blocking it at the back.
If you go through my status as anything, I had the Sundowns bus and Cardoso next to each other because I saw him packing it with the 3 game. Maybe one. But what it is that I think one of the things that happened is that the way that he played, the way that he set up is very different to what we expected. Because the point of reference, as SC likes to say in Lufuno, was always how he played very defensively in games against tougher opposition. But now what he did, he said, let's play. And it was a pleasant surprise because you're now going, hey, Ribeiro said, and I know Sundowns supporters, we want to lynch Matthews because he didn't take the opportunities that he's got. But the one thing about football is that put yourself in a position to create those spaces. Now you've got somebody who you know is a threat to the opposition when he's out on the wing. Yes, he may not have finished as you wanted him to, but the fact that he's there, you can then work on the finishing. It gives you something to be able to say, you work on him calming himself down when he gets into those areas. Does he cut back or does he finish? And that's what you want to be able to do. With that, the way that Sundowns applied themselves in America. Can the league start?
He's talking about the league, Lufuno, and I look at how Sundowns applied themselves. They were punished for the mistakes. These are mistakes usually they will not get punished for in the league. Yeah,
look, Cox, if you look at the standard in terms of the PSL and where Sundowns is playing now, you have no room for errors. And if you look at what Williams has done, and from what he said,
it was a blunder.
Yeah, it's a blunder. And what he said he saw Lebza there. The next thing Lebza scored.
Yeah, Lebza
scored. You know what I mean?
Mara Cox, I think when you're playing out from the back, I think it's more a system thing more than anything else. Because it's not a new mistake.
Yeah.
Go look at Makesi last season. The same similar.
You budget for these things.
You budget for these things because when you play out there, you're gonna have errors. It's like when you're a striker, you practice shooting. Are you gonna score every single one of them? But that will happen. But what it is that a blueprint to the opposition for Sundowns moving forward. If you're brave enough, press them up front. Don't pack it at the back. But when you press them up front, that number 10 will have room behind you to maneuver as he wishes.
All right. That's how Sundowns is giving us tabatsa wana tsa ilong tsa go state. Mara ke batla no re focus on tabatsa CAF because Lunga o re tshwaretse tse paya tsa CAF. Lunga, Skipane CAF.
A very good evening to you all and welcome to African Football News. And these are the top stories that are currently making the headlines. Tanzania to host the opening match, while Uganda hosts the third and the fourth match, with Kenya hosting the final match. And the ticket sales for the CAF's Women's Africa Cup of Nations 2024 Morocco officially go on sale. CAF, in consultation with the 3 host nations of this year's Total Energies CAF African Nations Championship, Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda 2024, have announced the venues that will be hosting the opening, 3rd, 4th and final match of the competition. CHAN 2024 will be held between the 2nd of August to the 30th of August 2025, marking a return to the East African soil following the 2016 edition in Rwanda. Tanzania's Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Dar es Salaam will be hosting the opening match, while the Mandela Stadium in Kampala, Uganda will host the 3rd and 4th match, with Kenya's Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi hosting the final match of the competition on the 30th of August 2025. Additionally, Zanzibar has been designated as one of the host venues, a decision that underscores CAF's commitment to expanding the reach and inclusivity of African football. Zanzibar's Aman Stadium staged the successful CAF Confederation Cup final last month between Simba SC and RS Berkane. Moving on to our second story, tickets for the Total Energies CAF's Women's Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2024 officially go on sale, which is 9 days left to the kickoff of Africa's biggest premier women's football competition, the Total Energies CAF's Women's Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2024. The local organizing committee have confirmed ticket sales. The first phase opened exclusively to Visa card holders for a 2-day period starting today, Thursday, the 26th of June, 2025. The second phase of the ticket sales will be open on Saturday, the 28th of June, 2025. Tickets will be sold online at webook.com. The opening match of the tournament will be played in Rabat at the newly built Olympic Stadium between hosts Morocco and Zambia on the 5th of July, 2 of Africa's most improved women football nations since the finals were last played in 2022. The match will kick off at 9 p.m. local time. Well, that is it from African football news. Please do make sure to catch up with us next week for more news as far as African football is concerned. Good night.